Joining me now is one of the newest members of the UFC roster, UFC bantamweight, Mana Martinez. And Mana, man, when you hear that, after all these, we've talked a bunch through the years, but after all the hype and talking about getting to the UFC, how nice is it to finally be able to have that title in front of your name, man?
It's still a surreal feeling, but I think I'm officially getting used to it, and especially being a week or two away, it feels nice, man. It feels awesome, and I guess all my hard work has really paid off, and I get to begin this journey.
Yeah, and I know it hasn't aired yet, the episode, I don't think, but Dana White's looking for a fight, right? That's where it all happened. We talked right before that, and you kind of talked about how you thought that was going to be your moment. You know, you're going to have your people, your crowd there. Bring it. Give me a little preview of what we're going to see in that episode. How did it play out, and did it live up to your expectations?
It's still a little of a blur to me. I kind of do remember what I told Dana and what was being told to me, and then I kind of don't because it all happened so fast. But it was an amazing experience overall, and I can't say it enough. Everything really does happen for a reason, and that little setback I had in Contender Series was just a setup for me to go out there in my hometown in front of everyone who supported me since day one, or most of them, and to come out victorious in the fashion that I did and the time that I did as well was unreal, and I couldn't ask for a better feeling, a better experience, and it was just great, awesome. And I know and clearly remember Dana telling me, "Welcome back to the UFC, kid." And those words will stick with me forever. And I got my redemption, and I'm so happy. I'm so excited. It's truly amazing and a big blessing.
Yeah, and I know obviously nobody wants to lose, but do you feel like it's almost worked out better for you? Because I feel like that's a pretty unique experience, right? Like Dana coming to you with all your people there, and like he was, having a one-on-one conversation with you versus, on the show, everybody's lined up, and you're just kind of another number. So was it in retrospect a pretty unique experience, and kind of you couldn't have written it better?
Exactly,
Yeah.
You really could not have written it better, and it was again an amazing experience and a special moment in my life I'll never forget. And if I do eventually have kids one day, it'll be amazing to tell them how it happened, because you're right, being not just another number, they all had their moments, and respect to each one of them that competed in Contender Series and earned their contracts. But mine, you couldn't write any better, again, in my hometown. The way I did it, and how everything just lined up, the stars really did align, as cliche as it sounds, and it just was an awesome and amazing experience, memory.
Yeah, for sure, man. And I guess how's camp been going since you got your contract? They turned you around pretty quick, got you a debut, just a couple months later. How are you feeling coming into this one?
I feel great. I feel amazing, in high spirits. My body feels great. I'm trying to stay calm. It was hard, especially after this past weekend and the weekend, a couple weekends before, watching Adrian fight and then watching these fights here at home. I'm trying to keep my cool, but I'm just so amped, man. I'm so excited. I'm ready to go and make my debut, but I'm trying to stay as composed as possible and save all that energy and and that hypeness for my fight next weekend. But I'm in high spirits. I'm high energy, and I'm so happy. I'm so excited, man.
Yeah, I love it. Was that the first time you had cornered Adrian in the UFC, or had you done his other fights too?
No, that was my first time. It happened on a week or two's notice, and I said, yeah, for sure, yes, sir. I'm in the middle of my camp, but I know I was still going to be able to get my training in and help him get his training in, and cut those final few pounds. So it all just worked out so well, and I got to feel out for his fight week, which I'm going to have my fight week in a week or so. So it was a great experience overall, and it worked out super well, man.
Yeah, and you don't strike me as somebody that's overly nervous. You seem pretty laid back, but do you think that will help you going into your fight, just having seen somebody go through what you're going to have to go through, like a little mental preview?
For sure, 1,000%. And I got a rundown of how his fight week went, and I'm sure mine will be very similar. So the first time in Contender Series, I've said it, I could hear a pin drop in that arena, and it was real nerve-wracking, and I guess you could say the lights got to me, or I just wasn't ready for that. This last time seeing Adrian, and then seeing multiple fights in the Apex, I'm definitely ready for that now. So if it's another quiet, empty arena where you can hear a pin drop again, I'll be ready for that, and I've mentally prepared myself for that.
I know you can't be too picky, but it's kind of interesting. You guys are like bookending the Houston show. You would have thought they would have put you both on there.
Yeah, yeah. I mentioned it a couple times. You know, I was ready for a last minute replacement because there was a few 135 fights, but Adrian and I were sitting next to each other watching the fights, and you know, he told me this is going to be us one day. You know, one day we're going to be headlining this, and everybody will be chanting our name. And he couldn't be any more right, because I could definitely see both of us on the same card. You know, selling out the Toyota Center and putting on a show for our people, because we both love our hometown, Houston, and we love representing it. So within due time, and once the stars align again, like they always do, we will get our opportunity and our chance.
Yeah, for sure. And I know the UFC has that deal now with the Toyota Center, so they'll be coming back next year, and seems like you'll be a shoo-in for that card. But Adrian, you know, you mentioned him. Obviously, he's built himself up as an exciting fighter. He's got a good fan base. He's done well on social media. So for people maybe that are familiar with him but not with you, how are you guys similar? How are you different in your styles? I kind of see both sides of the fence, but I want to hear from you.
We're similar but different, you know. That's a good question. He is very active on his social media, specifically Twitter, and I feel like I need to do the same. But yeah, he's got me on the social media side, Twitter wise, and I think I need to step up there. But fighting similarities, training similarities. We both got that grind. We both got that passion, and we push each other in the gym day in and day out. And whether it's a drill, you know, something on the ladder, we're always encouraging each other, and we both want to be the best. And that's the best way to describe it. Our love and our passion for the game is unmatched to anyone else. You know, we both had a rough path to the UFC, and he's made it, and he's shining now. And mine took a little bit longer, but my opportunity's here, and I'm gonna make the best of it. So, you know, our similarities for the love of the game is there. Maybe our social media is a little bit different, and he's got me kind of beat on that side, but I'll definitely work on that. And we're both, we just want to be both be the best, and that's the best way to describe it.
Yeah, you both have great highlight reels too, and I'm sure like you guys push each other in the gym, you'll push each other with some friendly competition on social media at some point. But yeah, man, you talked about, you know, you got Adrian, you have you. Your gym, I feel like, is kind of on the come up, right? There might be. Do you feel like there's a trail of guys behind you as well? I know your coach Saul is kind of getting some notoriety finally. He's been around the game for a while, but do you feel like you guys could be in the next couple of years a breakthrough team in MMA?
1,000%, yes, sir, for sure. Starting off with Adrian, myself coming up, and the other guys we have at the gym are very young and they're very hungry. And I've mentioned it time and time again. They're very motivating as well, and they help me push. They help me drive. You know, early 20s, some of them even still in their teens. It's crazy to see and think about how good they're going to be when they're our age, Adrian and I's age. And you know, shout out to all those guys. They're grinding, they're pushing, and they see Adrian and I as a good example. And I feel like they're following the right footsteps, and especially with how young they are, they have all the potential in the world. So, you know, all those guys within the next 2-3 years will probably be getting interviewed by you as well, and you know, prospects for this month. So it's very exciting, very happy to see. And you still got, you know, guys like Jacob Silva, who was a scrappy little animal, like his nickname is, and he's still on the verge, still on the come up, because he's not going to stop until he makes it. So our gym is definitely getting the recognition it finally has been deserving of, and it's only the beginning. And I can't wait to see us take off and, you know, be one of the best gyms. I mean, we already are the best gym in Houston, so be definitely noticed and recognized worldwide.
Yeah, I think Houston's really on the come up. It seems like Fury's really putting on good shows. They're getting you guys good fights. So I'm excited. I think Texas is always on my radar, especially Houston when it comes to the rising scene. But for you, I mean, that's their roadmap. What do you think your roadmap is? I know you got Jesse Strader coming up here in a couple of weeks. I'm assuming the UFC journey obviously starts with him. How do you think you do that in that night, and kind of what should fans expect to see out of you in your UFC tenure?
My UFC debut is gonna be, as I always say, fireworks. Of course, I expect to come out victorious. With anyway, I look to finish in openings for the fight, so it's gonna be an exciting debut for me. I know my first time around was definitely a fluke, and just a bunch of things around me. You know, the whole pandemic kind of played a big factor into it. But this go around, I'm in positive, high hopes, high spirits. So I'm ready to go. And I always say actions speak louder than words. So come next Saturday, you'll see my actions and how I put this guy away. So those will speak way louder than any words I could say right now.